Hello, welcome back. Tonight I will talk about a beautiful book of mine called Hecate that speaks about the goddess of magic in the Greek literature, Hecate or Hecate. She has a special name with different intonation. Heka means magic, so her name is magical. She is magical. She represents the like a high magician, or Hecate is a magician. It is seen in her name, Heka. Heka means magic or something magical. And the book that I have written tells the story of her. Now it was my interest to create a fantasy story where I represent Hecate in the first years, from her birth, from her origin, her family, towards her adulthood, where she grew, and then her life further on. So it does give a quite large glimpse of Hecate, not to say, well, Hecate is many things. To say, well, my book tells a part of her story. Of course, it's not all the story of Hecate. She is very known in the Greek culture, and she's a very beautiful, she represents a lot of beautiful things. I always recommend, if somebody doesn't know about Hecate, to read or to inform. It has a very nice story to it. She is an important, as I said, a princess or a queen in the element of magic, especially seen by the Greeks. And then in my book, as I've said, tells the story of Hecate from birth, from a younger age, because Hecate said she was born between one moon light and one moon dark, between two moons. So everything has, of course, a symbolic meaning. What means to be born between two moons? You say, well, one holds elements of the white moon and one holds elements of the dark moon. No? Hecate represents both. So she has this ability to see things that other people don't notice or are not able to see. There is something magical about Hecate, and that, of course, that story tells exactly that, how she was born and what type of family she was born, what type of day, how her childhood was, how she grew up, how she experienced that part of her life, and then later on the things that she received, or the things that she has done through her travels as well. Hecate, as I've said, it's like a very beautiful motif of the Greek culture. She comes from there. At the same time, they say that Hecate has even a older origin than that, So it is always very nice to write about a character that is very, very old. For me, I love ancient history. I love anything that is ancient or unknown. I like to go far back in the past to learn as much as I can, of course, in different ways, for different subjects. It can be language, it can be culture, anything from that part of history interests me. And I love to read, and I know many things about history. So that was very helpful for me as well when I was writing the book of Hecate. It didn't seem at all a difficult book to write for me, because I knew already so much of her. I knew already about the story, how I want to tell it. So I just worked on the manuscript, on the text, and I arranged the story in a beautiful way for us to read. Of course, it has very beautiful insights. It's a book that I do recommend anyone to read. You can even read to maybe older children, in general my books are for adults, but Hecate is definitely a book that even a teenage girl or a young girl could read or should read. It does give aspects, because it speaks about a female character, about a different time, which is always very, very nice to know, to relate to a time in the past. And the beautiful story of Hecate, of course, she is a princess, she is a queen. Hecate is a very, very, very special queen, a very special princess. Say, well, her birth or her family, the way she was raised or where she was born in a royal family. So Hecate does, as I said, is a princess, And her beautiful appearance, as well as her beautiful soul or her beautiful nature, gives Hecate that very special quality of hers, as I said, to feel or to be in touch with nature, or to have a very soft understanding of life. Hecate is on both sides, like I said, very strong, but at the same time very helpful or generous. It's that element of the good spirit. and she's a very beautiful character. I would have loved to see old plays or Greek plays on the thematic of Hecate. It's something that somehow fascinates me, at least, and I think others as well. The elements of the Greek theater, or the elements of the play in the same time, and say, Hecate could be anything. Could be opera, could be a book, could be movie, could be anything. Hecate does carry that element of the power of that beautiful story, at the same time very close to the human or human nature or the good nature. And Hecate always travels with her dogs. She has 3 dogs, to say the element of the dogs and that element of very special, the dogs of Hecate are not simple dogs, and they have, of course, different abilities as well. There are 3 special dogs of Hecate, and I invite you to read more about Hecate. If you want to read my book, you can do so. There is a link in the description box with my book, so to say, where you can buy it, or you can listen to the playlist of Hecate, where I talk other things about Hecate as well in other recordings. Or if you want to check out my other books that I have written until now, there is a link to my author page with a list with all my books that I have written and published. And as I've said, Hecate is a beautiful story that one can definitely read for themselves or to others. There's the element of the story or the storytelling of the beautiful story of Hecate. It's like there is a special introduction, there is a special atmosphere in the book too that I work to create, of that beautiful time, of that different time, more historical time of Hecate, at the same time in this Greek quality, this Greek way of storytelling that can be easily understood. It seems a little like in a theater play or a little bit like in a movie. The scenes flow one after another. There is this very close look, day by day or week by week or year by year, how Hecate grows, and it's quite interesting to read and to see the story. Thank you so much for listening. Until next time, bye.